Okay, here we are. It's been a long time since we did the halls, so it's time that we got the halls back together. Got to go to the library again, and I decided it's time to revisit the Crawdads. Starting off with Where the Crawdads Sing, the audiobook. I'm okay with reading, as in reading in books, but all throughout school, listening to the audiobooks of the books we were reading in English helped me absolutely. It helped me get through English. I was low in my classes, sadly, but I still passed. And if it wasn't for the audiobooks, I wouldn't have gotten out of high school and I wouldn't have gotten a diploma. So that's why I always stick with audiobooks. Plus, listening to the audiobooks, it kind of teleports the listener to the area. You see it. It's almost like the History Network TV show I Was There. It's almost like you're teleported to the actual ceremony. I'm just going to mute this soon. Anyways, the audiobook kind of teleports you, or it's like a time machine. You're teleported, or you time travel to that area, that moment, that era, that chapter in history. Well, for Where the Crawdads Sing, the audiobook, we are teleported to that book. Not the movie, the book. Now, a band I've never heard of. Battle Lore, Doombound. Their album is called Doombound, right here. Never really, I've never heard of these guys at all. They've, looking at the cover of that album, I know it's covered by the sticker, sadly enough, but I'm curious to know if they're scary thrash metal, Norwegian black metal, or if they're power metal like Dynasty. Love Dynasty, by the way. Now, here we have James Franco before he allowed fame to get to his head. I like James Franco's early work, say when he was on Freaks and Geeks, the first 3 Spider-Man movies, and James Dean. Not the actor. Well, of course, I love James Dean, the actor. I've talked about him a lot on the channel here, but I like James Dean, the movie, as well. Directed by Mark Rydell, here it is, James Dean, the movie, with James Franco as James Dean. Directed by Mark Rydell, who, interestingly enough, plays... Actually, I spoke about this before, and just a little general reminder. Mark Rydell, director of James Dean, the movie, played movie mogul Jack Warner. I've seen this movie a lot of times, but I never really sat down to think, what should I say in a review? For future reviews, this will be one of them. I can't wait to watch it again. I watched it time and time again, but then this year got pretty busy. I got really caught up with work, and I didn't really gather much time to review or stuff like that. It's been a crazy year for all of us. And for me, I had to take some time off to mentally rebuild myself. That's why I haven't really posted that much reviews, because I had to take mental breaks this year. A lot of stuff has happened, both good and bad, and you need a mental rest. Now, speaking of James Dean, here is perhaps my favorite box set that I haven't rented in a long time. The box set Tribute to James Dean, the actor. This is the real James Dean. The real, not James Franco. This is the real actor known as James Dean. Disc 1, James Dean Classic, the documentary that was released in the late 50s describing James Dean. A lot of those people, that was a good documentary. A lot of people aren't here. People who know James Dean aren't really alive anymore because that's how long he's been gone. But people who knew him well lived long enough to tell the tale about his life.